government was closed today except for essential services, so we were going to be doing this pretty much on our own tonight. Department heads weren't at work today, and we didn't ask them to come in, or elected officials. Some were elected officials. We didn't ask them to come in, so between the mayor and Ms. Nolan, I think we'll be able to get through. Hope everybody had a chance to read the minutes, and if so, we'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Allen, second Commissioner Schaefer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, that passes. We're moving right along. Investment report. Of course, Mr. Beatty's not with us, but I was told there are no bids, and the LGIP is .11, which is up from .10. So we're gaining ground in a tiny way. So we'll move on to the fund condition report for Ms. Nolan.
Are we
For
going
that
to
investment report.
Do we need to,
usually do?
without actually having an investment report?
That was the investment report.
Okay.
It's on.
You just made it.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve my
Motion to
report.
approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Allen.
Second.
Second, Commissioner P. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Now, fund condition report.
Okay. Beginning with development tax, we received $325,500 in February. That brings our total for the year $2,288,250. Let's see what's next. Cash report. I had 2 pages. Okay. Cash at the end of February was $239,822,000, with $228,584,000 being operating funds, $11,237,000 being borrowed funds. Okay. If there's no question, we'll go to the review of revenue. Pretty much for 7 months reporting, sales tax for all governments is 9.8% higher than the prior year. With 5 months of collecting on the current property tax levy, we're 2% higher collected than we were last year. At this point in February, building-related permits are 91% collected. Development tax is 95.7% collected. So those funds that receive sales tax, which is quite a bit more than what we had budgeted, you'll see that reflected in the general fund, solid waste, and highway. And schools, when you look at their total taxes, they're 77.44% collected, as opposed to all the prior years, which was running around 72, as low as, and they're 76. So we are in the ballpark, if not a little higher than what we usually are at this time.
Have you been given any indication on when the circuit court clerk will have the closing of the month end caught up? Any time frame or idea?
Well, I know September was closed. I'm not sure if they've closed all the way, and all of them in October. I think some of them are closed October.
I think they may have even closed some into November.
So it's close to caught up almost.
Well, we're into March now, so they're still at least December, January, February. So, I mean, I don't think they would normally have done even thinking about February and January probably, but December probably would have been expected under normal conditions.
So that's my report.
Further questions of Ms. Nolan, or unless we have 3 happy faces and 1 frowny face, so it's
Well,
on
it's the
the
same
positive
happies
side.
and sads.
Entertain a motion to approve the report.
Motion to approve.
So I believe that was Commissioner Kaplan, second Commissioner Jernigan, or whichever way it wants to. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Risk management. Are Are you being Ms. Street tonight?
I am, and we'll start with the health fund, which is 264, what we refer to as 264. Our per employee per month of the medical, dental, and vision, February ended at $788.82 compared with the prior year at the same time. It's pretty much the same amount, $788.74. Year to date, average is $875.29 compared to last year at $853.36. When you add the on-site medical, our average is $908.50 compared to last year at $888.06, which is a 2.3% trend increase. On our OJI workers' comp, our year-to-date claims paid $445,613 compared to last year's year-to-date paid at this point is $1,126,000. That's not right because that's the same
Yes.
number.
We paid a large claim last year.
We
I don't
paid,
think that is right.
February. Yeah, it's the right number.
it's the same number as the year-to-date total.
I think she totaled that.
Yeah. Anyway, we had that large claim that we paid in February of last year. Anyway, I do not have for you how many open workers' comp claims there are.
Usually around 16 to 18.
Small
They did
number.
show the insurance committee some graphs the other day, number of injuries on the job and the percentage they've gone down since like 06 to 08 to 10 and 12 and we're trending down at a steady curve on number of injuries per number of employees. I want to say they're doing a good job over there as far as coaching people and making sure they're putting up all the correct signage and stuff and doing everything correctly. So that saves us a bunch of money.
Okay, should we go on to the amendment? Or
Do we usually have a motion on the
Motion
report?
to approve the report.
Thank you, Commissioner P.
I'll second.
Second, Commissioner Allen. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Risk management, we've got
We've got an amendment.
an amendment.
And a transfer. The first one is Cigna has increased the amount that they give to the county for health related,
For wellness support.
thank you, wellness support, $10,000. So this is recognizing the $10,000 for contributions and appropriating it in other charges. The second one is a transfer within her funds. She needs to replace a printer, and she's taken the money from maintenance agreements and postal charges.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Schaefer.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Baum. Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan?
Yes.
Commissioner P?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes.
I just wanted to ask a question. Is the full 10,000 what she wants for the printer?
No.
Okay.
No, the one on top was the 10,000 for, and it went to other charges. That's what they spend out of
Okay.
for
And the printer
Well,
is
that's an
the
expensive-
1,500.
1,500.
And she's funding it out of two line items of 1,000 and 500.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, review of on-site health clinic bids.
Okay, the insurance committee, a short time ago, had a half-day meeting. We had submitted requests for bids with respect to our services, medical services provided at our on-site clinics. And we had two bidders, Premise Health and Care Here. The current provider was Premise Health, and then Care Here was the second proposer. If you'll sort of come to the middle of the page there, where you'll see we have 3 years of operational expenses projected, and you see toward 2/3 of the way down, it says total operational expenses. You can see that Premise Health their cost proposal is 2.4 million and Care Here is 3.1. If you'll scroll to the next page, and the next page you'll see a similar presentation, 2.5 million from Premise on the second year and 3.2 on Care Here, and then 2.6 and 3.3 respectively on the third page. So there are some other things at the bottom of the page that are not really comparable and measurable. Those savings that are projected, particularly from the proposer Care Here, those things they list under primary care and prescription drugs, we're already obtaining those savings in our whole program. So that's not new money, you might say, that they're preparing and proposing. So after, I believe, about 4.5 hours of discussion, the insurance committee recommended that we continue to use Premise Health. That was a unanimous vote with respect to that. And then, of course, this is something that has to go through purchasing, and so purchasing has now been advised of this, and they have approved, you might say, what has taken place with respect to the recommendation by the insurance committee. So this is just to inform you as to that process and what has been done.
So they opened it under advisement, and you're going back to purchasing?
We've already been back to purchasing.
And they've already agreed with
Yes.
it? Okay, I was a step behind. I just
I
want to make
believe
sure
so,
they'd
yes.
seen it. Okay.
Right.
So we don't need a motion here.
We don't need a motion. Mrs. Nolan says we're just giving you input and feedback here, so you'll be informed.
And we want it in the minutes.
And we wanted, okay.
Well, everything, I mean, we're pretty well looking at apples to apples on this comparison.
Yes.
From what I've seen, just skimming through here.
Yeah, most of the amount of that meeting wasn't necessarily in deliberations. It was in presentations and kind of digging through the data to figure out exactly
What we had.
what was trying to be sold to us as a savings we were already getting. So they were kind of doubling their numbers to some extent. But
Is that both of them?
No,
that
that's
was
that
finally
was
the
on
one we
Care-
didn't pick.
That's right. But what we're really going to spend for this service that we're providing, access of our employees, you can see that those numbers I just read off is the reality of what it's going to cost us.
Well, I want to publicly say again, I really appreciate you serving on that committee, Will. Thank you.
My spot is available, and it has been for years, but nobody's ever
I've
taken
heard
me up
that
on it.
before, but I have to say I appreciate it, seriously.
It's a
When
big
the
job.
Premise bought out Midpoint, wasn't it? And how it became
There's
the
been a
parent company.
merger, yes, there's been some sort of consolidation. So Midpoint is under a new name, but a little bit of a new structure,
But
yes.
still working with kind of Walgreens, right?
Yes. I think the amount of ownership that Walgreen had, particularly previously, has been reduced substantially, but they still have the relationship whereby we get to use their on-site clinics as part of access to our employees.
So the initial savings looked good, but when you started getting into years 2, 3, 4, 5, Premise was much more expensive. Is that what we were looking at?
No,
we went with
Premise is
Premise
is-
is different.
Care Here is,
Care Here.
in year 1, 2, 3, is, as far as the total operational expenses, is greater than in each of those 3 years. But Care Here had proposed major savings that are not new savings. They're savings we already are realizing just by the process that we have through our whole program of health care and the delivery thereof.
But they were trying to offset their higher price by exactly what he said.
Okay.
That's why it took a little bit of time to fish through that. But we've got a good insurance staff. Ms. Street's got a good department over there, and they bring a lot of good advice to the committees. I don't know where we'd be without that bunch over there. Are we ready to move along? General fund budget amendment for the sheriff's department. Mr. Russell, you want to join us up here?
Sure. Okay. Quick tonight for you guys, so I can get out of here.
You sound good.
Yeah, I just got done with one and daughter brought home something else, so we had insurance recovery where one of our patrol vehicles had gotten totaled, so we got a check for $10,261. So we will move that out of the revenue line item of insurance recovery and put it into our new vehicles line item on the sheriff's office side. That's the only general fund amendment I have tonight.
Any questions or motions?
Motion to approve the request.
Thank you, Commissioner Sheffer. Second, Commissioner Jernigan.
Is that the only place we could put that?
Well, we normally try to, since we've lost a vehicle, we try to put it back in there so we can at least go get another one, since that way we don't get too far behind. Good news for you, because I know you're looking for money for other things. Fuel's running ahead, so when I need some stuff for some other this year, we're gonna try and use the fuel money if we can. So as long as gas stays cheap, unless it goes back up to $3 or $4 again, so. Because I've got some other items I'm gonna be going broke in later on.
Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan?
Yes.
Commissioner P?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. All right, special budget, special purpose fund budget amendment. Or fund budget.
For the month of February, we had asset forfeiture funds of $6,983.44, and our drug fund people want to put that into the confidential line item.
I'll make a motion to approve that one.
Thank you, Commissioner P. Second, Commissioner Jernigan. Any further discussion?
Yeah, that's one we don't have any oversight over. It's what I wanted to bring up.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan?
Yes.
Commissioner P?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Motion passed.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Mr.
Have
Russell,
a safe trip home. Be careful out there.
approval of vendor agreements with Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse for alcohol and drug addiction treatment.
These are two contracts that we had last year and had this year, and they are for the fiscal year from July through July 14th to June 30, 15. The ADET spot is for $20,000.
25.
20,000.
Was it 20? Okay, 20 plus 5,000,
Yeah, and
25.
the other one is 5,000.
Okay.
These are numbers we expected, no surprises here or anything.
Right. And we don't, they're already in the budget, so. So we don't need to amend.
Any questions or motions?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Allen. Second, Commissioner Jernigan. Any further discussion?
Then there's no matching or anything.
No, these grants are more for a service. It's a contract with the state to provide services, so.
Typical state contract that
Vendor
starts in
agreement.
July 14th.
We have to approve it.
Indigent offenders. Right.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yeah.
Commissioner Kaplan?
Yes.
Commissioner P?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Motion passes. Resolution to apply for and accept stop grant for domestic violence.
This is a grant that we've received for many, many years, and this is her request to apply again for a 3-year grant. And that's what the other one was that we just finished, was for a 3-year term.
Do we do in kind on this?
Yes, it's either
Yeah,
it's 25%
it does.
cash or in kind.
No, that's why I'm asking, are we
Yes.
doing in kind?
No, it's a match, cash match.
We've usually done in kind. Like
Well, this one is a cash match, and see, they get money from the courts.
And they've got money
And
to
they've
cover
got,
it.
yeah, they
They're
got
going to
plenty
spend that
money.
money anyway, so they use that for the match.
Right.
It can only be, the money they get can only be spent on
For-
domestic violence
Yeah.
stuff.
Right.
So,
Victim assistance.
Well, I'm in favor of helping these folks do that. I mean, that's something we've done, and if you read statistically, we sorely need this. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the motion to approve it.
And this is, the resolution's also to authorize the mayor to accept this
Accept it
grant if we
if
get it.
it's granted.
It's been a recurring grant, so.
I'll
And that's,
second.
that can be part of my motion, but it's in the resolution.
Motion of Commissioner P, second by Commissioner Schaefer. Yeah, and these aren't taxpayer dollars that are going
And-
toward that match. That's money generated through the drug court.
No,
itself.
no taxpayer dollars are going into this program. We're generating enough revenue out of the fees and fines that it pays for the whole cost of the domestic violence program,
Call the roll.
which includes this 25%, I mean, as well.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan,
Yes.
Commissioner Peete,
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yeah.
Commissioner Jordan.
Yes. Approval of general fund budget transfer and amendment for pause.
The first entry, and the first amendment is to replace the vinyl floor tiling with epoxy flooring in the hallway between the stray and adoption areas. The request is for $6,500 coming from their maintenance agreements, $2,000, other contracted services, $1,000, and drug and medical supplies of $3,500. The second one is a request to purchase additional caging and kennels. And this is money that they are requesting for, from their line that is committed for their program coming from donations. It's not coming, if you see that 34, is it 630?
34th.
630, Paul, that is the account that is specifically for their program, and they're requesting to use 13,000 of those funds to buy the caging and kennels.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Jernigan.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Kaplan. Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan,
Yes.
Commissioner Peete,
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan.
Yes. General fund budget amendment transfer for emergency management.
Okay, we've got two amendments. The first one is within their funds, and it's to increase their maintenance and repair funds for equipment and vehicles. 500 for their maintenance repairs and 2,500 for vehicles repair coming from their DP equipment line. The second amendment is recognizing the revenue and appropriation of the 2014 Homeland Security Grant coming in at $68,168, and the equipment the same, other equipment. And I think you approved the grant last month, and this is now the amendment, placing it into the budget.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Peete.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Allen. Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan,
Yes.
Commissioner Peete,
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan.
Yes. General fund budget transfer and amendment. Oh, we just did emergency
Oh,
management.
13.
General fund budget transfer for building code, sorry.
Okay, this is a request to purchase notebooks for their county vehicles, and they are asking to use the money that they had signed for other contracted services, $3,000.
Move to approve.
Commissioner Jernigan, thank you.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Allen.
How many does this get them? Do we know?
I think maybe a couple, I'm not sure.
Oh, these are
And they've got a couple
heavy
more.
duty things, and if
Yes.
they drop it, that there's
Tough book
okay,
or
tough,
whatever.
yeah.
So the
Okay.
Tough.
inspectors
Something they
Tough
call
books.
it.
have,
Something similar to what the assessor had gotten.
Yes.
and all that. Okay.
Yeah, it's not
Over
a
tough.
spiral notebook, it's a.
And not just a plain laptop either.
Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan,
Yes.
Commissioner Peete,
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan.
Yes. General purpose school fund budget amendment.
Their first amendment is a request to adjust the appropriations for principal and interest on their capital lease. And it just moves money from, reduces the principal and capital lease and increases the interest on the capital lease by $7,379. The second amendment has to do with the Jennings Jones Foundation donation that is to be used for staff development in their Spectrum staff of $16,172 is being requested from unassigned fund balance. And let's see, $32,900 is for grants that have been received from the Coordinated School Health Program that was used for walking tracks at the schools. $8,726 is for additional donations made to the charity fund for the school clothes, which also receives funding from United Way. So their recommended motion is to reduce the unassigned fund balance by $16,172 for the donation made to the Spectrum program, to increase donation revenue by $41,626, and to increase the budget for the related expenditures as presented.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Allen.
Sir.
Second, Commissioner Jernigan. Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan?
Yes.
Commissioner P?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Before we move on, I'd just like to say, as long as I've been a commissioner, we've been accepting donations from the Jennings Jones Foundation. And between what they give to the county and give to MTSU, the Jones family has been leading family in this community for generations. My father and Mr. Jennings Jones were friends and stuff, and it's just amazing the impact they've had over the years on giving stuff to the county. And just want to say publicly that we really do appreciate what they do. General fund budget transfer for stormwater.
Okay, this is amendment related to their Project WET program. They had a private vendor who is terminating their agreement that they had been providing services to us, and the intent is to bring somebody on part-time to run that program. So they are requesting to move $4,000 from the contracts with private agencies into part-time of $3,715 and then the related benefits.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Jernigan.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Allen. Any further discussion?
Yeah. Maybe I'm the only one, but refresh my memory on the WET program.
It has to do with stormwater and teaching.
Well, now we
Just reclaiming? or-
This, we have a partnership agreement with the other jurisdictions, Smyrna, Murfreesboro, and Laverne, in that we have a person that goes into our school system and teaches the teachers on how to teach them about the concepts of stormwater, management, et cetera. And it amounts to a total of, all of us together putting in $34,460. We've had a person previously that provided this service through a contract with Discovery Center, and they've decided that's not something they can continue with. So we're having to unwind that, and we're going to have to do it through our own part-time person. It'll still be the same partnership agreement with the cities, and then we'll hire a part-time person.
That's a state mandate.
It's a state,
That's why
it's a
we're
federal
having to do
mandate,
it.
funded, pushed all the way down to the state and pushed on us.
It's an unfunded mandate.
It's an unfunded mandate.
But one we're required to.
Yes, sir, we have to do
They get
this.
sponsors.
They like pushing the mandates down. They very seldom send any money along with them. We got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Just, has it done any good in the past? I mean,
I'm
is
not-
there anything quantitative?
Anytime
that
we can
happens from-
teach our teachers and our children something that would protect our environment, maybe it's providing some good. I don't know whether we can measure that or not, all right?
Stormwater's got to be a huge deal
Oh,
the
yeah.
last 10 years. It's going to get bigger and bigger. So the more we can educate the leaders of the future at a young age, the better off we'll be, in my opinion.
Well, we can tell the difference in the amount of recyclables. And that's part of this education process that we're teaching them, and that this person is teaching them, instead of throwing it out in the creek, is, recycling where you can.
Yeah.
We've seen a huge increase in the amount that we've had to spend on just all the recyclables, so it's doing some good.
Yeah.
You good, Mr. Commissioner Schaefer? You look like you're about to say something
No,
else.
it's just, we'll let it go. It's not
All right.
worth mentioning.
I can see your wheels are turning. Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan?
Yes.
Commissioner P?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. General fund budget transfers for Chancery Court.
This amendment is within their budget, and they're requesting to move $10,000 from data processing services into data processing equipment to purchase 5 docket monitors.
Any questions? Because I don't have a clue. I don't know if they
Monitors
already have
that-
monitors and this is adding more, if this is the
Well,
first
this-
ones, or I don't
These-
spend a
this-
lot of time in
these
Chancery
put
Court.
These screens out into the lobby where the people that are coming can see who's next on what court docket, et cetera. It's those kinds of monitors.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Mr. Jernigan.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Allen.
Does OIT typically, do they look over most of the technology requests for purchases?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Brian has to give his blessing to pretty much anything.
Very good.
Just to make sure everything
Works
He is
together.
intriguing, works together and
Yeah,
talks.
yeah, that's good.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan?
Yes.
Commissioner Peak?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Approval of amendment to grant contract with Tennessee Department of Human Services for child support services.
And this is funding that has been received for many years, and this is for next year's budget. We've got some that's for the current year. This one is for next year. And it is for child support hearings that is done in our juvenile courts. And we can get a portion, I think it's 66% of his salary that is spent on hearing these child support cases. So the amount that is estimated for next year, let's see, $27,107 with a local match of $13,965.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Jernigan.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Pegg. Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan?
Yes.
Commissioner Peak?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Resolution to accept additional funds for the home grant. Ms. Noel.
Okay, we are already authorized to receive $120,000 for the home grant, and this is to rehabilitate homes for individuals that meet their thresholds. Another government is not going to be spending theirs, and so we have the ability, and it is your choice, to ask for that additional funding of $210,000. It's 100% federally funded, and it would bring our total up to $330,000.
Is there a reason why we wouldn't want to accept this? This is just money that's available for people to come apply for
Right.
that meet the requirements for the
That's
fix
right.
up their home. I mean,
Yeah, we
We
do
can
this
do more.
from time to time.
Yeah.
And yes, this,
That's anywhere
It's a
in the
good
county
thing.
now too, so.
yeah, we,
who administers this? Where do they go? Just for
Yeah.
people watching on TV?
well, it's our grant coordinator in Ms. Nolan's department, Ms. Reba.
And we work with Greater National Regional Council. They're the administrator of the grant, but Reba Carlton in my office works with them.
It helps people that are hurting and got it
Yeah.
easier.
It does, and she
Very
said that
much.
they had 8 applications this time. We've advertised and there's been hearings, and she had 8 applicants, and with 120,000, that wasn't going to go far, so we're going to be able to do more for the
That's good.
for ones.
I'll make a motion to approve this.
Second.
Mr. Peak, Mr. Kaplan? And where do they actually go or call if somebody watching on TV right now wants to try
Wants to apply,
check
yeah.
this out? Where do they apply?
Well,
Physically, I mean, they come to your office?
Well, they'd have to go to the Tennessee Housing Development Authority
Yeah.
site. Is my,
well, I know Reba can send them to wherever they need to,
And
so
then
they
distribute
can
them to
call,
They
the
can
county.
call her and then she can.
direct
forward it.
them where to go.
Yeah,
Nothing else, call the mayor's office, thing then.
we will.
615.
898-7745.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan?
Yes.
Commissioner Peak?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Resolution authorizing issuance of interfund capital outlay note.
This resolution is requesting to, in essence, borrow from ourselves about $5 million from our debt service fund to provide cash flow for those projects that were approved last month as the school goes into their negotiations and contracts. This will be until we get bond money available to them. We'll pay ourselves back. So this is for $5 million. And will take us, I think that will be more than sufficient because, as you'll see later, we're going to go ahead and do the bond deal, move forward with it on the projects that you approved last time. But this is just the interfund for the school projects. Motion to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Allen.
Second.
Commissioner Peak.
I just have one question. Once we borrow this money, does it keep our unassigned fund, our balance in that account above the 65% threshold, or does that matter?
Well, that in
this
accounting,
case?
it just moves from cash to receivable,
Okay.
so
Okay,
it really
doesn't
has no
affect that.
effect on the fund balance.
Any further questions? Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan?
Yes.
Commissioner Peake?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Initial resolution authorizing issuance of general obligation bonds.
Now, this resolution goes out to the public once, if y'all approve it, and it is noticed, it'll be advertised, and it's noticed to the public that we are getting ready to issue bonds. On this first page, I'm demonstrating to you what you approved last month, which was $27,905,000 for school projects. But because these have an elementary component, we will also have to borrow an amount to share with the city of Murfreesboro. That amount you see to the right, $4,572,260. Now, in this resolution, and this is something that I just want to talk to you about, what we're doing is just telling the public, this is what we think we'll borrow. And I know that some of these projects on the county is kind of what I want to talk to you about, are things that have kind of gone through committees, those that are on property management particularly, and some that have already had some budget hearings on their departments. For example, the ambulance, that was a request. Has the ambulance gone through? I know it's talked
been-
about in
It's been
property
presented
management.
to the public safety.
Public safety. Okay, so there was a request for $750, and I tell you right now, I'm looking at that fund. That fund cannot absorb this amount. City, county roads, there's an estimate that what we have is going to be short for the Joby Jackson. We will have a bill coming in that is not the final. That we do have sufficient funds to pay, but that's not the final.
Now, Lisa, that's Burton Street. isn't
That's
it?
Burton's, right, that's the
I mean, we're under
ambulance station.
contract that we
We
gotta
gotta do
build
it.
that one, so.
Which
I
is
mean,
why
Okay.
I'm kind of throwing this in here.
Okay.
And,
We probably won't build that until next fiscal year,
But, I mean,
but we need to go ahead and sort of know where we can get
We
the
will
money
have
to
the
go.
money.
I mean, that was part of the deal, is that we did that
Mhm.
when we agreed to take that property,
Yes, sir.
release it, so.
I know that we've talked, I know it's been presented.
Through property
to-
management.
Through property management to talk about a maintenance facility. There's, potential to use their fund balance, but, again, I've come up with an estimate of $2 million to just throw in this initial resolution. Y'all will talk about this in the next month or so. It will be next month that we will finalize and bring forward the resolution that says this is what we are going to adopt. This is almost what we're presenting is a top dollar amount that we will not exceed.
If we advertise this to the public, we cannot go above it,
Right.
but we can go below it.
We can go
And
below
before
it.
we go through those steps, then we get to the last and find out we're $500,000 short, we've got to back up and start the process all
Right,
over again.
right. So if you go
So-
to the second page, I just wanted to kind of show you that. The second page is what we are anticipating borrowing, and this is what the initial resolution would be for, is $35 million. The estimate for the underwriter's discount, $350, the cost of issuance, $155. There's those school projects, those amounts that we're estimating for the city of Murfreesboro, and then I've not identified what projects, but I've just kind of given you a whole list that's coming through and estimating.
Yeah, she gave me a
2 million.
list that totaled really 2.9 million.
Yeah, I
and
was
she
gonna
just
say
said,
you're 900,000 short if you're gonna try and do all
If they
that.
all
Right, I
were to
wasn't,
come through.
Yeah.
but I just wanted to put
Those are just
something out
possibilities, yeah.
there.
That's right.
You could change this amount if you want us to change what we're doing, but I just wanted to give us some flexibility through this next year's budget process with what I'm seeing as some capital needs that.
And before we actually go to bond market, we could take that 2 million completely out.
We could.
We could,
yeah.
we could, even to the point when we get ready to sell them, I guess you could. But on the, just so that you kind of got a sense, in the development tax fund, we started the year, well, no, it's not a fund, but you know, the amount that we've got set aside in development tax, that's for capital. We started the year with $2 million, $2,029,000. But we had already budgeted to drop it down with the projects that we were funding. So we're estimating without, you know, and I just said we've almost met our budget estimate for the year, but we're not there yet. So right now the estimate is about $1.4 million is what we would end the year with. And seeing that all these capital needs coming in, this is not a large source to pay for all the capital needs that are kind of coming through our budget hearings, which is why I'm coming back to, I feel like we need to put something in this issue for county projects. And I'm saying county projects, that when you go to I want you to go to page 3, the next one. And in this first paragraph, you will see what all, it sounds like I've put everything but the kitchen sink in here, that when we borrow money, we can only use it for the sources that we say we're going to use it for. So if y'all decide to not even do any of these projects, there is money that we would assign to maybe projects that we already have going, like the parking garage and Judicial Center. It would be spent for that project. But you can see what all I've got here. Well, you already know that it's for county schools, constructing, improving, renovating the schools, an amount to be shared to the city of Murfreesboro, acquisition of land, site, design, constructing, equipping county buildings, not limited to the sheriff's department, and I just threw that into there. County maintenance facility, ambulance facility, parking garage, there's Justice Center, roads. So if we did borrow that $2 million, this is all it could be spent for. It couldn't be some other project that just came up that we're not talking about here.
But she's talked about every possibility there, more or less.
So basically you want to overestimate so we don't come in short towards the end.
I want to put, I mean, if I was going to overestimate, I'd put a lot more money in it than this. But
She's made a reasonable estimate of expected needs that you may approve it as we go forward. That $2 million has not officially been approved, but as we go through this next year's budget, and even maybe some of these before then, we may ask you to approve those. And unless we have this money here, and if you do approve them, we don't have funds necessarily available unless we borrow them.
You know, just run back to bond market every time you need
Right.
$500,000.
the refunding that you approved last month, we're going to layer this at the same time that we do this one. We'll probably do a competitive bid with that refunding at the same time, and we'll save costs too by doing them together.
The other thing, if you go to 35 million, you know, your 2 schools up there, you don't know exactly what they're going to wind up costing. They may be a touch more, and you need it. If they're less, you know, that's great. We use it for other elementary projects or something.
The difference is that I'm not calculating the sharing component on that $2 million, so it would be, you know, just let you know, we would say high school or something like that.
This just gives us flexibility, and you will have to make a firm, hard decision a bit later.
Actually, but next month, and we want to get this done before the fiscal year ends. We have this initial one next month. In April, we will have the final resolution. Then in April sometime we'll probably sell and close in May.
I'm just having I'm learning through this whole process, just kind of, my mind thinks so basic, and I think about, you know, when you go and you set a budget to go grocery shopping, and you know you got $200 that you're going to the grocery store with, you know what you're going in, what your max is. I don't think it's the reverse where we go in and we say, well, I'm going to go ahead and plan on spending $250, but I only have $200 in my pocket. So would it not put us in a position that we would, I don't want to say forced to make tough decisions, but forced to make tough decisions if we went with a more conservative approach to it and don't bank on the fact that we're going to build this in. I mean, I understand, like what Commissioner Schaefer just said a minute ago. Well, if we have some left over and there might be some other well, I don't think right now with the budget the way it's at, that's the mindset we should have. Maybe I'm not thinking about this the right way, but I'm just trying to keep it very basic. Wouldn't this put us in a position that we all know we have tough decisions we're going to have to make? So wouldn't this kind of start setting that precedent? Is this where it would start?
I guess I'm not understanding which way you're going.
And let's remember, we don't want to borrow money, but no more than once a year, and sometimes not that often. So there won't be another opportunity if we need, and the likelihood of needing $2 million or more dollars for these other projects is pretty high. So if we don't borrow this money now, we probably won't be in a position of borrowing again for maybe at least 12 or 15 more months. So those projects, for example, this EMS new station, we wouldn't have the money to even to build that. And we basically have signed an agreement that we would do that within a 2-year time frame.
Right, that's something full commissions are, that's why I brought it up, because that's something we had voted on and said, yes, we're going to do this, and we're under contract to do it. But the way I look at this is, yes, we want to have the money available if something comes up, and it seems, as much as we hate it, there's always something unexpected that comes up in our budget year. But the main thing to keep in mind is, if we borrow that money, we have to spend it. So we're not going to borrow anything that we know we don't need. Now, just because we've got the right to go over this does not mean that we're going to do that. But if something unexpected came up, if we got hit by, say, a major tornado and lost a school, we could find ourselves in trouble. I mean, and this wouldn't be enough to cover that, but I'm just saying that's a worst case scenario that I could think of, other than loss of life. But, having the availability of it, but not using it if you don't need it. I mean, it's like having a line of credit to me. You don't want to use your line of credit if you don't have to, but if you've got to go out and borrow that money, at least you've got it there in case of emergency. That's the way I look at it.
And I guess of the $2,750,000 estimate is that commitment that we did for the ambulance. So really, what we're asking is not a whole lot more, but in what has been discussed through committees, there are some big projects coming. And so, and as I said, I don't think we can go to the development tax and say, oh, let's use it. We can use it for some things, but
Okay, that makes sense.
it'll spin down.
Making the application is not committing to the expenditures.
Right.
Okay.
But using the example that Commissioner Kaplan gave, say you had the $250, you were only wanting to spend $200 on groceries, but you're responsible for this function that's going to cost you $50 worth of food to put on. So you go to the grocery store, you're not wanting to spend the whole more than $200, so you start looking maybe at different brands or something like that, and you buy cheaper brands, not the name brands, etc. I'm just throwing it out so you can save some of that money. That's what we're looking at this way. Because they alluded to it, but I don't think the mayor actually came out and said, if you borrow too many times, it hurts your bond rating.
Well, it costs.
It costs
Yeah, it
cost
costs.
of
Yeah.
insurance.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that
Okay.
with any more
And
frequency
nobody
than that.
mentioned it, but Ms. Nolan, packaging that together with the refinancing basically of the earlier bond issue is going to save us major money on top of the money we're going to save from the interest rate savings. So they're doing it, in my opinion, very correctly by packaging as much together at one time, because it costs a good bit to do that process. The guys from Brentwood come over here, they don't come over for free. They want you to come sit through the meetings and stuff with them.
By the way, that reminds me of something we said. Anytime we have them, we want them first on the agenda so we can get them out. We're bringing them by the hour.
That's why we've moved the Health and Facilities Board stuff to the top of the agenda the last several months, because they're paying an attorney to sit in the audience usually. So we asked Mr. Bolden to come up first, get them out, and him out the door. But, all right. If there are any more questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the request for the bonding.
Commissioner Schaefer, thank you, Commissioner Journey. Further discussion? Person like to have a few extra dollars, and I go to the grocery store in case I have a flat tire on the way or something like that. Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Bond?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yeah.
Commissioner Kaplan?
Yes.
Commissioner Peak?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Other business? Anything? Anything anybody needs to bring up? Any fish fries, pancake, breakfast, anything like that? If not, hope everybody has a safe trip home. School's out again tomorrow. Hope the people out there watching don't get out on the roads unnecessarily. The sheriff's been saying on the radio, and besides that, we are adjourned.